Outside again. My next vlog is with Mike McPeak. He's a CRM administrator, an SEO, a marketer at Hale Trailer Brake Wheel Incorporated. We have some pretty interesting topics to discuss, more about, I believe, doing SEO in a lower tech environment, a digital first marketing experience and focus, as well as established industries and navigating niche markets with low search volume. Should be very interesting. I think he also wants to talk a little bit about Fortnite. So we will see. He should be here any minute, set up outside, socially distant. I think we're actually both vaccinated, which is pretty cool. And should be fun. Looking forward to the talk. Hoping you enjoy it.
Using their AI and all of the different tools that they have, we're actually able to increase our revenues 3, 4, and 5 times.
We're not only weathering the storm, but we're actually growing right now.
Thank you, Mike, for coming out here. I appreciate it.
No problem.
So, this is I actually did another one of these interviews yesterday, and you're my second interview after getting the COVID vaccine, and you're vaccinated as well, right?
Yeah, right around the same time I think we got ours.
Awesome. So we could have done it inside, but it's nice outside, so we figured to do it outside.
Yeah, after the weather we've had.
Cool. So can you tell people in this camera who you are?
Yeah, I'm Mike McPeak. I'm the digital marketing director for Hale Trailer Brake Wheel.
Well, what do they do at that company?
We sell commercial trailers, so if you think, what you see like going back and forth delivering to stores, but we also do a lot of specialized trailers. We're a little bit different in that industry that way. But.
Awesome. And you've been in the SEO space for how long, approximately?
I've been doing digital marketing in general for about 4 years now. So.
Mm-hmm. And is all that with this company, or?
Yeah, I started off, my history is actually with more on the CRM space. I started off, my real first taste with digital marketing was doing some work with a nonprofit. Actually, I was just helping them out, processing donations and stuff like that. They had a donor database, which is really just a specialized CRM, and they were tracking their fundraising campaigns in Google Analytics. So that was kind of my first, kind of taste of doing that kind of stuff. Later, I moved on to a different company doing CRM work and business process automation, and just kind of decided it's really what I like doing. It was a lot different from what I was doing in the past. Moved on to Hale Trailer, where I am now, and then they sort of weren't doing any digital marketing. They never really even had a marketing department. The salesmen all sort of did their own marketing on their own. So we were the first, me and my coworker were the first kind of professional marketers they had. And they wanted to go, we're in a process where, our founder was stepping down, he was retiring, his son was taking over. Same with a lot of our customers. We have a lot of family-owned businesses where it's the next generation taking over. So we really needed to adjust our marketing strategy to more of a digital first thing. And so our president was talking to me one day about it. He wanted to bring in an SEO agency on a recommendation from his friend. Talking with me about it, he was like, you sort of speak this language through your history of CRM, you understand tracking and all that stuff. So he just wanted me to sort of spearhead and quarterback that whole process. So now I oversee, we still work with agency partners a lot, but I oversee the whole process of our PPC, our SEO, our web development, and I'm sort of the linchpin that holds all three of them together.
All right, so you joined this company not as an SEO.
Yeah.
Kind of things were transitioning in the company. You're like, your boss is like, hey, we think you know this stuff. Could you, get up to speed a little bit more? And you're like, all right, I can do this.
Yeah, just sort of stepped into the role. And at first it was just really just kind of working with the agencies and letting them take over. But as I've kind of grown into it a little bit more, I keep learning more and more, and sort of taking it hands-on to the point where we're actually doing more of this stuff ourselves now. We still work with the agencies a lot, but it's more of a lot of it's more of an advisory thing more than anything. I'm one usually bringing up ideas to them, things that we want to try and experiment with.
Have you had the same agency for the past 4 years, or you've changed agencies?
No, we changed agencies at some point. Our first agency, they were very good. They oversaw, we actually redeveloped the website and relaunched the website. So a lot of the technical stuff, they helped us guide us through in the transition, the migration over, baked in a lot of solid technical SEO. And we started seeing a plateau in our growth of page views and stuff like that. So I knew the next step for us was to really start upping our content, which that agency really wasn't their forte. So we just switched more to somebody that could do a little bit more of the content marketing. I had been pushing for a blog to get a blog off the ground for a while, but it became evident to me that we weren't really going to do it in-house unless we were kind of forced to by our agency. So, they kind of did that and started a lot of heavy lifting for that to get us off the ground with that. And it's the same thing now where we're starting to write our own blog content and produce our own ideas there.
Cool. And Can I ask you, why did you switch agencies? I don't even know names. I'm just curious.
Oh, yeah, just they didn't offer the content marketing that we needed and the content production at the first agency there.
So you just you didn't keep both. You said, I'm going to switch completely to
Yeah, we just switched completely over to do the whole thing. So.
Can I ask what the process was for finding, can I ask you, what techniques do you use to say, I'm sure you interview tons of agencies, there's tons of SEO agencies out there.
Yeah.
What specific things do you look at when you try to hire an agency for SEO?
I mean, I'm really big into Twitter and the space there. So really, I went with a lot of people who I was following. I was kind of already looking to them for advice and following what they've been doing. So I just started hitting up the ones that I liked the most, that I thought, the content that they were producing for themselves was really engaging. And I thought, they obviously have the chops to go ahead and do it for us as well.
So you hire an SEO off Twitter.
Yeah.
I actually bought a car once off Twitter, which people don't do much, but it was actually when Twitter almost just launched.
Yeah.
And people were like, what are you doing? I'm like, I reached out to my local, auto dealer.
Yeah.
They were tweeting. I reached out to them on Twitter, and I went in and I bought a car.
Huh?
So you can hire SEO agencies on Twitter, and you can also hire buy cars on Twitter.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I'm trying to think, so you've been doing SEO for about 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
How did you start learning about it? Was it Twitter mostly, or was it Moz
Twitter?
or something?
Yeah, Twitter. Yeah, I read the Moz blog, Search Engine Journal. And I just kind of stay on top of it. And I realized, I wasn't doing it. I was still kind of just quarterbacking it for a while. But I realized, at night I have a young daughter. We're putting her to bed, so I'm sitting there, I'm holding her, rocking her to sleep, scrolling through my phone. My Google Discover feed was nothing but SEO articles and fantasy baseball. So I realized, I'm like, I'm really into this, and I would have wanted to take more of it on. So
cool. And I apologize anyway, there's all of a sudden started to do some landscaping, and they moved far, far away, and then they came back. So hopefully you don't hear that. These mics should probably get rid of all that, and fire trucks are flying by and so forth. But anyway, let's talk about SEO. So I know there was a bunch of topics you wanted to talk about, and you're kind of in this low tech space, right?